Wingapo and Welcome. It's been a while since we did an animated storybook, and there's been plenty to discover, so I wanted to continue with that today. Within the past, I've covered a couple now: 101 Dalmatians, Hercules, and The Lion King. And I haven't been playing them in order, of course, but it's been nice to go and jump around and see how they've progressed between all the years. Today's feature is the third one in the series with Pocahontas's animated storybook.
By the age of 6, she's already canoed a wild river, searched for gold, discovered a new world, explored a Native American village.
Pocahontas lived in a village.
Learned new words.
Butterfly.
Managuas.
Hunted for stowaways. Stopped a war.
Father, stop!
And never even had to leave her room. Disney's animated storybook, Pocahontas on CD-ROM. Once again, the magic of Disney begins with a mouse.
It's so interesting because I feel like Pocahontas is the one princess that's not really a princess, but yet is a princess, but yet has been shoveled so far back because within the 90s, she was very, very, very popular. There was so much promotion surrounding the film. She had her own stage show a few years later within Animal Kingdom's park, and there was generally a positive trend showcasing the history of the indigenous/Native American population around this time before things turned controversial. For example, she wasn't the only female protagonist showcased for young girls. Around the same time frame, American Girl had a whole series of books on Kaya, an indigenous/Native American girl from 1755 that was released a few years later in 2002. I'm a 90s kid, so Pocahontas was a princess that I grew up with, especially because I was 3 years old when the movie was released, therefore prime subject for the Disney princesses at the time. They didn't do a historical take on the real story, they definitely fabricated it, so it'd be more of a fairy tale. So there's a lot of controversy around her, and it's a shame because I feel like the messages and what they were trying to promote was wholesome and true. And we need to put more respect towards Pocahontas and celebrate the positiveness about Pocahontas and be able to indulge into the Native American culture as it truly is. So I felt like this is the perfect time for it, especially with Thanksgiving coming up, even though Thanksgiving is also a very controversial thing nowadays.
How? I am Pocahontas, a Chippewa maiden. You have taken the land which is rightfully ours.
So let's get started. Let me put my headphones on. After this gorgeous animated opening sequence, Grandma Willow welcomes us to the storybook.
Welcome, child, to my enchanted glade. I am Grandmother Willow, and I am going to tell you the story of Pocahontas.
Just like with the other versions, there are several different options you can choose from. Playing along with the story, settings and instructions, reading along with the story, pick a page, minigames, and exiting the software. And let's begin our story.
Pocahontas lived in a village along the banks of a beautiful river.
Oh yeah, she's in Virginia. It's so weird to me. Time is weird to know that America was filled with wonderful Native American culture. We should go back to that. First off, I love all of these drawings. So that's the back button. These are games. I'm assuming this is what, okay. Oh, I love that it highlights it. I love that it highlights certain words we can choose. Virginia.
Virginia, the place where Pocahontas lived.
What else is Virginia known for today? It's really bad. The first thing I thought of was Virginia's for lovers, but that's Ohio. No, is Virginia for lovers? Is that what it is?
A few moments later.
Thanks, Google. Gotta love American pop culture history. Yes, Virginia is for lovers. That's the slogan. What's the owl?
If you want to see more of the village, click here.
Oh wait. Oh, That's so fun.
The items you can click on do vary from page to page, but this first page is one of the few pages that has an extended exploration option. And just like mentioned on the main page, there are several different mini-games available to play in between the story.
Do we have a game? All right, we got a game.
The first one is focused on shooting the bow and arrow. There's 3 levels of intensity, which shouldn't be challenging at all since it was targeted at 4 to 8-year-olds, but I struggled a bit with the hardest level.
How? Where is it going? Oh, I got one. We get the gist. I'm not good at this one. And I understand I'm playing on the hardest... Oh, I got one! I understand that I'm playing on the hardest level here. Because, again, I am an adult playing a children's game.
And shoot again.
But this is challenging. Where do I... You know, I was never good at archery when I tried it in real life either.
They live in the earth, the water, the sky.
This is still awesome. Like,
They will
I understand this game is basically 30 years old at this point. But genuinely, I am so excited to be doing this. Like, it feels magical. We get to click on the animals. The owls, they look like they're from Sleeping Beauty.
The second game has an objective to use Flit to catch the berries Miko throws before he eats them.
Oh, that's so cute. His face is so cute. He's just like...
the berries with his beak. And
It also has 3 levels of intensity,
can try
and I
again.
also struggled on the 3rd level.
No! This is much more challenging! What? Got it!
listen with your heart. You will understand.
I hear the wind. It's saying something's coming.
I really love the messaging of Pocahontas because, again, I know this is all pulled back from authentic Native American traditions and the way they lived, but I feel like hearing the way they talk
One
to
day,
today
a ship from
is a
England
lot.
sailed into our river.
It's the same type of
Among the
concept
men on board
that
was
people
the
talk about
Governor
manifestation.
Ratcliffe, who
So I
came in
love
search
how
of
they're
gold.
very similar within each other. And I think that's also what makes it magical, because I'm all about manifestation life as well, and I try my hardest to be positive and put things out there.
Get to work.
Unlike Governor Ratcliffe, who is the villain of the story. Do we have a game here? We do have a game! Wow, we have so many games!
The 3rd game is basically hide and seek. You have to click around on all the different objects to find Miko.
Okay, let's do hide and seek.
It can't happen.
We
by
should play
willy-nilly
cons.
around our ship
No,
like
can't
that.
we?
If you do find Miko, just remember that he's off to another hiding place. So keep looking.
Oh.
Hey, nonny nonny ho, nonny nonny, he isn't here, nonny nonny.
What, who is in there? Okay.
Keep looking. You're sure
But
to find
we're
him.
clicking on this. I feel like that he's in there. Yes, that's why I was right. Okay, I'm not crazy.
Carter,
You ever think about what these ancestors would think of the world that we're living in today? Because I think about that often.
Like us, but
Especially when you
strange
see how
beasts.
basic all of their living essentials were. And then you have today where
They stalk
I have
the
all
earth
this
like
stuff that I
hungry
don't
wolves.
need, but it's comforting. Okay, so we don't have a game here, but I love that it's not highlighted when we don't. So that's still awesome that we've had all these mini games so far.
Just like the other animated storybooks, they do the most amazing job creating these magical worlds and retelling these stories from the respective films. I know I keep saying it, but the fact that this game is basically 30 years old is insane. The quality is still perfection. Sometimes the simplest software codes are the most impressive.
listen with your heart. You will understand.
Did they did get the handshake? That's so cute. I love that from the movie. Oh, so we get to say hello?
This
Yay!
is how we say hello. Wingapo.
Wingapo.
Fox.
It's not. What does the fox say?
What does the fox say?
She's saying everything in her language. That's a long name for a deer. How do you say it again?
Deer.
Unterbandon. It sounds German, honestly. How do we say fox again? Now that I know what's going on.
Fox.
Asimust? I am butchering it. I am so sorry. Do we get our
Pocahontas and John
song
Smith
of
each
Colors
saw
of the
world
Wind?
differently. The settlers wanted to change the land. Pocahontas and her people knew it was important to share it with all living things.
Which Disney you should be paying attention
Cut down
to
trees, build
today?
roads and houses.
But to us, every creature, rock, and tree has a life, a spirit, and a name.
Do we get the song?
You must learn to paint with all the colors.
Pocahontas, we don't want you to speak it. We want you to sing it. Okay, fine. I guess we're not doing a sing-along. But we got a game.
The fourth and final game is a hunt for the different animals in the forest. Out of all the games, this one is the most educational and enjoyable. There's also 3 levels, and the first one being the easiest shows the different areas where the animals are, and you just have to pick the right one.
Oh, I love that I'm learning, but I'm never going to remember this, unfortunately, because they're really hard to understand.
The happy songbird. Our name for the songbird is the ship.
The ship. Is that how you say it? The ship? I like that. If it is, if I'm butchering it, I'm so sorry. And again, I do not mean any disrespect when I say this, because I know language is so unique. I can't even really speak English. I've tried. So it's so interesting to see how words are so different from each other in all these different languages. But how do you say fish?
Namamis is what we call the fish.
Namanes. That's fish. Namanes. I love it.
The third one takes that all away, and you need to figure out where the animals are by knowing about their living spaces prior.
I know I always praise these games, but genuinely, this is why I'm like having so much fun playing this. And this was made for kids to learn, but I'm learning. I'm learning so much, and I miss all these edutainment games that had so much that mattered and were teachable in such a fun way. I would like a sing-along though. That's what we're missing.
Chief Powhatan sent his warriors to watch the
So he's a chief, and that's the language I speak. Wow,
Ratcliffe
that's
had
smart.
ordered-
Of course we don't have a game for this, because imagine if there was a game for this, be like, hey guys, let's start a war and see who we can kill first.
They did not know they had been fired.
Dun dun dun!
This
Gee,
is where the path of hate
you know,
has brought us.
the last thing we want to get is political on this channel,
Many
because
more people will
it's a
die.
fun escape to the magic, but these messages are still relevant today, especially
My daughter
this
speaks with a
year.
wisdom beyond her years. From this day forward, if there is to
Carry
be more
on.
killing,
That's all I'm saying.
it will not start with me.
I also love how all the serious moments will play through. Same thing happened with The Lion King, where you don't have time to stop and explore. It's like, this is the drama, this is a tragedy happening. We're gonna just continue and go forward with the story to get to a happy ending. That was Disney's animated storybook of Pocahontas. And like I said, there are very important messages to take away from the story, even though it is historically inaccurate. And understandably, the movie, in turn, is also historically accurate, but still very important and should not be hidden away for a couple of historical inaccuracies, because they are trying to showcase how important nature is, how it's important to live alongside with animals, to not take advantage of the earth. That is all very important lessons, and how important conservation is. And so those lessons are the wonderful, important pieces of messaging that we need to take away from this. In terms of the animated storybooks, this one is also very strong. I really appreciated that we have games, because The Lion King did not have too many real games, and it was much more of a serious storybook. But I'm happy that this one definitely got a little bit of improvement. I want to take points away because there was no sing-alongs, and we are aware that the music is very amazing from this movie. It's one of the more powerful soundtracks from the Disney Renaissance. I love that we have the ability to focus more on the conservation messages and how we need to live with the earth. I love the idea of Grandma Willow as our tree. I love that she's friends with a raccoon and a little hummingbird, and those are the important things. And of course, I love learning about different cultures. I grew up within the 90s, so we knew this community as the Native American community. And I know now it is changed over to Indigenous. And obviously they were here before us, and it's the most respect to them because they had this amazing, wonderful culture that they cultivated long before the Europeans took over. And I know that there has been media here and there made by and for Indigenous culture, more so in Canada. I've watched different videos and Canada has a lot more of it.
The most recent media in America surrounding the culture would be Marvel's Echo, which was such a phenomenal, groundbreaking, important series as well.
And like I say, with every single game when it comes to the animated storybooks, I wish these could be remastered. I wish that they could remaster them all and put them up on Steam, for example, because these hold up so well. The fact that this game is 30 years old doesn't feel like it. I understand the graphics are a bit limited and you can see that through, but anything else, it's amazing and it holds up so well. And the mini games are fun, some of them I don't want to play again, but I liked learning about how to say the animal names in their language. I loved learning that stuff, and it would have been cool to add more trivia in here to make it a little bit more educational, but they did a really great job in that aspect with it. Could have used a sing-along, but at least we got that in the later versions with Hercules, so they were building up to it. I'll give them that. With all that said, that is another storybook closed, and I'm really happy to slowly make progress through all of these. So thanks for joining me once again, and as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.